So a system is a group of things that interact to perform some kind of function. So that sounds quite abstract. But if you think about a digestive system, there we've got a group of organs working together to digest your food. It's a digestive system. We can think about this in society like a financial system comprising of the financial institutions, the banks, the marketing firms. And in environmental systems, we have an ecosystem, a group of organisms that are interacting through predation, competition, pollination, mutualism, concepts we'll learn about soon, to form an ecosystem. So a system has inputs and outputs, storages and flows, which we can also call processes. And the reason that we want to think about things in terms of systems is it helps simplify what we're trying to understand. An ecosystem is very complex, but if we can break it down into looking at some of the inputs and some of the outputs and seeing where the balances are, what are the processes that are happening in the ecosystem, it can help us to understand something that would otherwise be very, very complex. So for example, we can think about a school. So in a school, we have inputs, and we can draw a systems diagram showing the inputs with an arrow. So we have students have to go in the school, and teachers, and books. And we have outputs of the school, and we hope that the output will be educated students. We have the storage, the place where all of this happens, that's the school. And inside the school, learning happens. This is the process or the flow. So if we take away the picture, now you've got a diagram showing the system of a school. So this is a system diagram. So the storage is drawn as a box. Think of like an engine in a box, the thing that is doing the stuff inside of the system. And the flows are shown with arrows. Our inputs are going into the storage and the outputs are moving out of the storage. Now the flows can be transfers or transformations. A transfer is when something moves from one place to another, like a student moves from outside the school into the classroom. But a transformation is when it's changed, when that object is changed. So proteins that go into your body, they get digested by enzymes and they get converted into amino acids. They've changed form, so they are transformations. Let's have a look. An example is a plant. So we have inputs, carbon dioxide and water. And outputs, new plant tissues such as seeds and leaves. And oxygen. And this all happens through the process of photosynthesis. So here's our storage. It's all happening inside the plant. And photosynthesis is the process. So there's our system diagram. Now, if we think about our transformations and transfers, the carbon dioxide is transformed. It's converted into carbohydrates through the process of photosynthesis. And if you've forgotten photosynthesis, don't worry, we're going to cover that in another lesson. But it's changed. It's no longer carbon dioxide, it's carbohydrates now. Whereas then water comes from the roots, it's transferred up through the phloem of the plant and into the leaves. So let's think about the compost pile now. So for the compost, can you draw a system diagram to show inputs and outputs, flows and storages? And also label your transfers, and if you know any transformations, label those as well. So pause the video now and give that a go. So we've got browns and greens and water, which we learned from the video, go into the compost. Outputs are carbon dioxide because there's lots of respiration happening. And also our compost is an output. We also have heat as an output. I haven't talked about this yet, but energy can be inputs or outputs as well. Heat energy, electrical energy, these can all be outputs or inputs. So inputs and outputs can be energy or matter. Okay, have a go now at some more practice, maybe looking about a human, think about a forest, a lake, a cell phone, and a candle. And I think those are getting progressively harder. A candle is quite a hard one to think about, but it does have inputs and outputs and processes that are happening in there. Now, systems can be open, and most of the systems that we'll talk about will be open. So an ecosystem is an open system because matter and energy come in and out. A closed system, though, it's not completely closed to things coming in and out. Energy can come into it, but it's matter that doesn't leave. So for example, planet Earth, we get light energy from the sun coming in, warm energy, thermal energy leaving the Earth's atmosphere, but we don't lose matter from the Earth's surface, and we don't have matter coming in. However, you can see from the TOK comment, you can go back and review it, that there are exceptions even to this. And then an isolated system really exists just in theory. It doesn't exchange any matter or energy with its surroundings. And so we don't know of any such system except for perhaps our universe.